Present.
Well, then pull it and let's don't embarrass anybody.
Baker, Lynch, Estidates,
No,
Thibodeau,
pull her.
Cox, Smith.
Just absolutely.
Here.
We have a form.
Prayer by Commissioner Thibodeau, said by Commissioner Lynch.
Okay, they are.
Lord, we call you today to bless this commission, help us to make decisions that are right for the people of Caddo Parish. We ask that you touch the hearts of those that are hurting, and we ask all these things in your Son's Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Turn and face the flag and render the proper salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The hot seat
He was in there selling himself. You look, no, Joe Shine's got a suit just like that.
Please.
He's the only person I know with a suit like that.
Please.
Are there any agenda additions?
You sure?
Next item.
Next, we move to citizen comments. I have no cards.
Next item.
Next, we move to visitors. Miss Ann Fumarolo, President CEO of Skyport.
Good afternoon, everybody. I really came and asked to be put on the agenda for one thing, and then I did bring our economic impact study for you to look at, and we did a really good job last year with Bodies and Titanic coming in. But what I'm going to ask you is that we received monies from the commission to help with students in Caddo Parish, and we would like to use the Providence House and the Boys and Girls Club have asked if there's any funds available that they could bring their students to Skyport this summer, and we'd like to have permission to use some of those funds for their students to be able to use Skyport during the summer.
Commissioner Lynch.
I'm a little, what would prohibit you all from doing that right now?
Just the admissions cost. Because they want to come repeatedly, I mean, they come on a repeated basis, like they'll be here tomorrow, we hope, because we've told them it's a free morning because they're sponsored as the Terrific Tuesdays.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, they want to come.
Additional times during the summer.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Escudero.
And how much money are you talking about?
It's probably only going to use up about $3,000,
About $3,000. Mr. Grubb?
and we have that money still in our account.
Okay, we'll need your help on this. Ms. Fumarella has broached the subject that they have funds available out of the funds that we provide for Caddo school students to go to Skyport for free, and that the Providence House and who else?
Boys and Girls Club.
Boys and Girls Club have asked if they could participate in the summer on the same basis. Would we need to amend our budget ordinance to provide for that? Or do you think the fact that if these girls and boys that are, these children you're talking about are already in Caddo public schools, that it would
And they're
suffice?
already Title I students,
What is
too.
our agreement is with Skyport,
Right.
Cooperative endeavor. Let me do this, Commissioner, if it's okay with you. Let me get with her and get her contact information, and depending on when this meeting gets over, I'll go back and look at the contract today, or first thing in the morning, get myself back on the phone, if that's okay.
That's great.
Is that
Yeah, that's fine. The last thing I'll say, and if that's within your budget and it doesn't impact the student services provided, and it can easily be done, I don't have a problem with that.
Thank you. I believe that we can maintain the services that we've maintained and let them use the service this summer. Anything else?
Commissioner Lynn.
This, I mean, obviously falls back on whatever Charles finally says, but I remember doing the NGO process, and it was for Title I children in Caddo Parish. And if those children, which I believe that they all do, fall underneath Title I Caddo Parish children, then they are automatically already approved. for this, for you to spend your money how you choose.
We read it, and it is just a little iffy, and as I called to want to make sure we had the clarification before we went forward.
Okay, that's all, Madam President. Thank you.
Commissioner Thibodeau,
My question is answered.
Commissioner Williams,
I too on the same line with Commissioner Lynn. I think we set the priorities for the money with Title I, and I'm glad that you come before us to inform us how the money is going to be spent. I don't know how can anybody say no to both the agencies that you brought before, the Boys and Girls Club and the Providence House.
Okay, thank you.
I'm glad that you did come and inform us so we can be aware. Some of them were the answers, at least we were informed.
And we've always used the money which had been appropriated before with juvenile justice, so we continue those programs in the summer.
When y'all go off for swimming down, that's what we need more than anything, swimming. Okay.
Are you finished, Commissioner?
Yeah.
Commissioner Lynch,
Just want to request before we start making too many promises, a copy of the cooperative endeavor agreement be sent to everyone. Okay?
Sure.
No, I'm talking.
You can
to our
talk, Mr.
attorney.
Grove. Sure.
That we be provided with a copy of the cooperative endeavor agreement with Southport, so we'll be sure, what we're doing, because, there are probably a lot of students who want to go more than once and want to go repeatedly throughout the parish. So we just want to make sure whatever precedent we're setting, and I appreciate you coming to make sure and get that clarification. But we want to make sure we're being fair to everyone.
Agreed.
Okay. And being able to have that opportunity to come as well. So thank you.
I need to get that put in.
Thank you, everybody.
next item, Mrs. Clerk.
Next, we move to reports. We have the administration report.
Good afternoon, Commissioners.
Good afternoon.
We had a request for information from Commissioner Epperson concerning the sequestration impact on our military members. And we invited Major Warren Carroll to come and give us an update today, and he's here. And sir, would you please come forward to the podium and let us know the impact of sequestration on the military?
Yes, sir. I'm Major Warren Carroll. I'm a B-52 instructor pilot here at Barksdale, and I work for Colonel Andrew Jabera, the 2nd Bomb Wing Commander, and I'm here on his behalf to talk a little bit about sequestration and what we've got here. I'll cover kind of the main impacts, and then as you got questions, y'all can ask, and I'll answer the best of my ability. This is a nationwide issue, and some of the answers I may not have to your questions. But basically here at Barksdale, we have 3 main missions, and our missions are nuclear deterrence, conventional global strike, and maintaining expeditionary airmen. Because of our specialty in nuclear deterrence and that necessary role in our nation's security, we've been somewhat shielded from the effects of sequestration, although it still impacts us. What I mean by somewhat shielded is we haven't seen, as we saw across the nation, 33 squadrons cut from the Air Force or actually stood down where they're not engaged in active military operations anymore, 12 of which are combat-coded fighter and intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance units stood down. They're just sitting, doing desk work, not operating their aircraft or doing their primary mission. We haven't seen that impact quite so severely at Barksdale, which is tremendous. But while we maintain our 100% nuclear capability, and we are very capable in the nuclear deterrent function of our mission, we have seen impacts in 3 main ways. First, our flying hours are cut, and the equivalent of 1 whole squadron's worth of aircrew are not flying anymore. Second, we see furloughs. I'll talk about the furloughs a little bit more. And then in terms of sustainment, we aren't able to replenish necessary supplies at the same rate that we did before. I'll talk about that a little bit. First, the flying hours. With the flying hours, General Welsh just said here, let's see, about 10 days ago, when the Chief of Staff of the Air Force, General Welsh, when he was talking to Congress, that it cost about 2.5 times or up to 2.5 times as much to retrain a squadron as it does to sustain them in their mission set. And so what I just said a second ago, the equivalent of a whole squadron's worth of folks not flying, that's guys like me, and guys like Captain Graff, that are now sitting and they're doing simulators and maintaining mission readiness to the best of their ability, but they aren't able to do their primary task of going and flying and doing the mission. And so what you see is that some of our capabilities are a little bit degraded, not in the mission, not in the nuclear deterrence mission, but in other aspects of our mission. And what you see is that we are maintaining that other half that are continuing to fly, or the other, the other squadron equivalent of folks. They are flying at 100% mission capable rate and maintaining all the capabilities that our nation needs to go to war. Basically, the leaders at the 2nd Bomb Wing, 8th Air Force Global Strike Command, on up the chain, had to make a decision on the ways to attack this problem, since there's only so much money to go around. Either they could maintain a single group of highly capable combat professionals, or maintain reduced readiness across the board. And they've chosen to maintain 100% capability on some, so we're ready all the time, and then less capability on that squadron's equivalent of folks that aren't flying. So where we see that here in the way that I do training, I teach the new guys how to fly a B-52. So basically we saw a lot of impact in terms of we go out and fly and we want to meet up with a tanker squadron so we can practice in-air refueling, to practice the global strike kind of portions of our mission, train to that, and then fly and do a certain number of landings and approaches and touch and goes, and all the things that y'all see us doing over on the Bossier side, the sound of freedom around our neighborhoods over there. And we aren't able to do that quite as much. Here recently, kind of the most recent things been happening, some of the tanker squadrons, the reservists, they have a lot of civilian employees and active reserve technicians, which are civil service, but military folks on the reserve side look just like me. They're taking Fridays as kind of their furlough day. And when they do that, then we don't have any tankers to fly with on Fridays, or we have less. They don't all do that, but we have less tankers to go meet to accomplish our training objectives that are required to maintain mission readiness. So flying hours with furloughs, 1,372 furlough notices for Barksdale Air Force Base. That includes Global Strike Command and the tenant units that are working at Barksdale, but 1,372 furlough notices give a total of about $2.5 million worth of impact. That 20% reduction for each civilian employee, essentially in every, it's 2 days off per pay period, which is a 2-week pay period, and it's a day per week, essentially. So they're working 20% less, and that's a 20% pay cut for them. 1,372 employees, $2.5 million, just in terms of money's coming in only in the civilian employee side. It begins July 8th, so it's very timely. It's starting next week, and they'll get the second half of that pay period, and they'll all have to take 1 day off during July 8th. It's an impact not only in the monies side, but it's also an impact because we've got the same amount of work to do there at Barksdale, but now those 1,372 folks that we were counting on to get the stuff done, now I have to work a little bit harder to do their jobs on their days off and cover for the work that they can't get done because they physically are not there. So it's significant. In terms of sustainment, what we do in the military, I'm sure you'll see a lot of it in civilian government as well. Toward the end of the fiscal year, when all the budgeting and accounting is coming through, that's where we get roughly 40% of our discretionary funds to spend. This is spent on things like replenishing computers, for example, where we're kind of on a 3-year cycle. Every year, it will replace about a third, almost a third, of the computers on base, so that we always have current and capable, computers. Just one example here. This September 30th, at the end of the year, I'm not sure if we're going to have the money coming in to do that. And we may not feel that impact today, but as we move forward and this sustains, or, as the budget, is either created or the budget is lower, as we move forward, we may not have the ability to procure those additional computers, for example, and it happens across the board in maintenance supplies and that sort of thing. We will maintain 100% nuclear mission readiness, because that is one of our #1 priorities of the Secretary of Defense. However, it's very difficult when you just can't sustain things like that. Other local impacts we see, the commissary used to only be closed on Monday, but now it's closed on Tuesday as well. So we're closed 2 days out of the week instead of 1 day. It means we'll be shopping off base a little more often, perhaps. The air show, all y'all are aware that we canceled the air show this year due to sequestration, and across the Air Force, air shows have been canceled this year. We'll see for next year. It just depends on all kind of budget situations, but a definite impact to the community, both economically and as a public relations kind of a deal. We see a reduced number of temporary duty assignments, where people normally would come to Barksdale for meetings and go other places and come here for training. Well, all that's sort of reducing a bit, and they're trimming it down. We're feeling that impact on our base lodging, and then some of the off-base lodging too, I'm sure, as we're not full on base, visiting military members off base anymore. That's the basic areas: flying hours, furloughs, and sustainment. What I handed out to you was a 2012 economic impact analysis. It's an analysis we do every year at Barksdale. Kind of talks about, the before sequestration economic impact and number of employees and everything. It's our official record for the 2012 fiscal year. And then now, as we're going into 13, we'll see that analysis is kind of accomplished at the end of the fiscal year. I'd like to open it up and see if any of y'all have any questions.
Thank you for coming. Give my regards to Colonel Jabrera. He participated in our Veterans celebration and honor ceremony last year, and we're hoping maybe the sequestration will not affect the B-52 flyby. We're planning again for Veterans Day again, and we're hoping we can get a B-52 flyover over the parade. And we are working as hard as we can with our federal delegates, Senator Landrieu, Senator Vitter, Congressman Flanagan, Alexander, all those guys, and we're working in connection also with Fort Polk. There are some issues with Fort Polk also. So we're doing all that we can to see if we can minimize this particular situation, and at the same time want to let Barksdale and Fort Polk and all of our military persons know how much we appreciate them on being with us within the Shreveport and Bossier and the Vernon Parish and the Soda Parish areas. So we thank you for coming, and we're working as diligent as we can to see if we can do something to ease the impact off the military. And we also have members of the National Association of County Officials, which I'm a member of the Military Service and Veterans Affairs Steering Committee, so that's high on our agenda too, so we got a lot working for us.
Wow. Thanks for your help.
Commissioner Escaday.
I just want to thank you for being here, and thank both of you for your service. We go to sleep at night taking for granted that, it's millions of folks like you in all the branches of service who do what you do every day, no matter what the job is, to ensure our freedom and our liberties and our way of life. And and you do this for people, for the most part, you'll never meet and ever know, yet you do it. I think this parish, not only this commission, but the folks here, I don't know how long you've been in the community, is always, we were patriotic before 9/11, always have been, and we're happy to have you here. Thank you.
Sure,
Commissioner
thanks. It's an
Williams?
honor to be here.
I just want to echo what Commissioner yesterday said. I've served in the military. I was in military police. And I can't say enough about how you put your life on the line, not knowing sometimes where you may come back in your flying mission. And oftentimes our young men and women come back home, all they come back is to a parade and a pair of balloons with no job, no opportunity. Shame on America. They say one thing, but when it's time to put up, like the sequester, we shouldn't be having no sequester with our military. That's wrong. Men and women put their life on the line. We want to hold up benefits and opportunities and jobs and business opportunity for them. Shame on America. Shame on the people who lead this country. Talk out of one side of their mouth this way, but when it comes time to support our men and women, it's a bunch of hogwash. But locally, I can say here that we really appreciate the strong arm you hold here in the South, knowing that we're being protected. And if anything I can do to help you, sir, I will support in whatever you do. So, also, you said you train people to fly those planes.
Yes, sir, sure do.
I'm looking forward to my training. That's why I don't want no big plane.
Let us know, because we're going to all get back. We're in Arkansas that weekend.
If you do anything, send a drone after it.
Make sure they keep it over in Bossier when you're
I'll go right through East Street.
Don't come to North Caddo.
Commissioner Bowman?
I just want to echo what Commissioner Escaday and Commissioner Williams said. You know, I didn't serve in the military, but every time I get a chance to the opportunity to thank someone who has served, I just want to say thank you sincerely, because without you, we wouldn't be able to sleep at night. And I know personally I wouldn't, so I just want to say thank both of you. God bless you.
Thank you.
Commissioner Epperson?
I spoke.
That's all.
All right, thank y'all very much, and thank you for having us here today. It really is an honor serving in this community. Y'all provide the best support, and I hear it over and over from everybody that I serve with, that the Shreveport-Bossier community is the best community to be in and to work with all the time. So thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Screen.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Thank you, sir. President Baker, just want to give you an update also on Fort Wade, where we are with that effort. So I'd like to have Ms. Frazier come forward and just kind of give you a little update on the latest on that issue.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. I believe the last time we spoke, we've been working with Jonathan Vining in the Department of Corrections. Since that time, he has turned the request over to the State Department of Administration, and we have not heard anything, and Mr. Vining has not heard anything, so we're both following up. But the issue is whether they have to have a legislative action to be able to donate that back to us, since I don't think the entire terms of the cooperative endeavor agreement have been filled. So we hope to know something soon.
Commissioner Escaday?
Do you know, Donna, have we resolved the issue of an existing water contract that they have? Is it with the Sabine? DeSoto Parish? Has that issue been resolved? If the property is transferred back to us, are we obligated to continue that contract, or will that go?
Our contention is no, but I'll defer to Mr. Grubb. He may have some more information.
We've just told the State Division of Administration Commissioner that we're happy to take, we wanted this body wants to accept a donation. We just want to make sure that they're authorized to do the donation, which is why we've asked the question about the legislative act. And secondly, we've said we want an indemnification clause in the deed, indemnifying us from any liability over this issue with the DeSoto Water District they have indicated, as I understand, that's not, I don't think that's a problem.
Thank you.
That's it.
Yeah, Commissioners, I just want to make you also aware that the state have moved out completely. And we went out there a couple of weeks ago, we find facilities unsecured. We contacted them and told them they need to go back and secure it until they give it back to us properly. So that was a concern of ours, but they have moved out, took the equipment out, they wanted out, like generators and so forth, and the facility is empty. So it shouldn't be much longer to get the paperwork done to bring it back entirely. Just want to also make you aware that we are recipients of 2 achievement awards from NACO this year.
Outstanding.
One of these awards is for our partnership with the Central Fire Station SHRAC headquarters. We're a partner in that effort to renovate the facility. And the second one was the Parks and Recreation had developed a home study science program for kids that get homeschooled, and that was accepted as well. So we have 2 awards.
Award after award.
And at the appropriate time, I would suggest that we bring Ms. Atchison forth and present her one of these certificates, and the other one goes to Mr. Omri Wesley and his group for their exceptional work.
Congratulations.
Just want to make you aware that we did give you all a draft schedule, budget schedule for the year. Please take a look at the schedule and let me know if there's any issues with the time, dates, any conflicts on the schedule. It's a draft. This is for the budget process as we begin that process. If there's any conflicts with dates, please let us know. We will make the adjustments necessary. Also, I want to make you aware that we got notified by email that we applied on Commissioner Williams' behalf for a community enrichment water resources grant, and we received notice that we will be getting $61,698 for the Wells Island project. And I talked to Mr. Ken Ward about that. The overall scope of the project cost is $170,000, so we're out about $108,000. And I would suggest that come LCBG process time, we would perhaps submit this project for the remaining portion of the money, or perhaps some other alternative later on. And that concludes my report, ma'am.
Next item, Mr. Clerk.
Next, we have communication committee reports.
Commissioner Williams.
No, I don't. He said he did. I mean, let me just say for the record, I just want to commend you and your staff for persevering, just keeping your eyes on the prize on the Wells Island Road project.
Yes, sir.
Well, we had some setbacks over in the city council. I see some of the commissioner and staff have worked that out.
Yes.
And I'm very grateful for the people of Wells Island Road and the people that serve in public office. We're here to serve the people, not dictate to the people. And sometimes we lose our focus on why we're here. We get too comfortable in these chairs and these seats. And we're supposed to serve everybody, regardless of associative background, gender, or race. And thank God we came to a point where we provided some relief for those people and continue a long-range plan. Maybe it can provide some economic development opportunity because there's a lot of growth up there. And this would be a tool to attract new industry and put some tax dollars back into the community and hope create some projects, maybe some manufacturing plants in those. So just want to commend you guys, give you kudos, and keep up the good work.
I did, Commissioner Williams, talk to Councilor McCullough this week, last Thursday, and I asked for support on that, and she will help us out on that.
Thank you, sir.
Commissioner Epperson.
I had a webinar on June the 26th. I had forwarded to all the commissioners. I don't know if any of you participated on it. It was from NACO. It was entitled "The Scoop on Shale," a county primer on shale energy and hydraulic fracturing. We had a representative, one of the presenters was with the American Petroleum Institute. We had another one from the Environmental Protection Agency, and another one from Tioga County, Pennsylvania. I think is a member of the American Counties for Energy Independence. It was about an hour and a half long, the webinar was. And it appears as though, a lot of people sometimes they think NACO is sort of liberal. But it appears as though all the person that participated in that webinar was basically leaning in on behalf of the industry. We want to have a collaborative effort between the drilling industry, our community, the economic benefits it brings, while still looking at concerns relative to the environmental concerns also. So these are all things that we have to blend in, because it's certainly an economic boom for all of us, and especially some of the areas up north. And also on Sunday, July the 21st, at our NACO conference in Tarrant County, which Tarrant County started out the shale, the Barnett Shale. That's where we got a lot of ideas and some things to do and not to do when we were formulating our policies and our procedures and our ordinances from them. So it's going to be a 3-hour seminar that Sunday from 9 a.m. until 12 p.m. Also, the webinar is available on the NACO website. You can pull it up if you'd like to view it. Also, we had a code enforcement property standards meeting today. We submitted a few changes in our code enforcement and property standards ordinance, which I have on the agenda today. You'll see a draft before you. And we did make some changes to the initial proposals that was made, and we think it's something that's palatable at this time. However, we did run into some concerns relative to grass cutting and inspection and some other things as far as enforcement and fines and whether civil or criminal penalty would be involved. So we cut those particular items of contention out. So we're going to move forward what we can work on, because we hadn't really done any changes since we've incorporated our property standards ordinance. And some of you, like my area, have some citizens that do have some valid concerns, and we need to address and make sure that we are progressive and going to do things that's going to make Caddo Parish just as palatable and viable as our neighbor across the street, whereas people want to come and build homes, nice homes. That's going to add to our property taxes. We also met Friday at the State Fairgrounds relative to our Veterans Celebration and Honor Ceremony this year. We will meet again on August the 14th at 10 a.m. here at the Commission in the large meeting room in the back. We're asking anyone that would like to participate in bringing our second parade and honor ceremony to fruition. Please feel free to come and participate. Instead of Hearst Coliseum, we're going to utilize Louisiana State Museum auditorium this year. We went by and viewed it. They remodeling it. It's nice, good, cozy venture, a lot more accessible to handicapped and people with some physical disadvantages other than Hearst Coliseum. Beside, the fair has a money-making venture, and we certainly don't want to cut the economic aspects of the fair that would be utilizing the Coliseum. However, they said they would give way to us if we wanted it. So we think those facilities would be ideal for what we need. And that's my report. Thank you.
Just want to announce on July 9th at 2:30, we will be having have scheduled an Economic Development Committee meeting to discuss 2 items. July 9th at 2:30. Commissioner Lynch?
Yes, there will be a brief meeting of the Personnel Policies Committee after the work session.
Next item, Ms. Clerk.
We have no president's report. We have no old business. We move to new business. Zoning case number P4-13 in regard to ordinance number 5322 of 2013, Metropolitan Planning Commission applicant request to amend section 54-658 of chapter 54 of Caddo Parish Code of Ordinances to allow for manufacturing of alcohol beverages as a use by right in both B3 and B4 zoning districts.
So move for Thursday, but I just, second on it.
Second.
But come Thursday, I want more of an explanation on the
Friday.
Friday. More, before I vote on this, I want to have more information on it, so I can make an intelligent vote.
This will be introduced by title on Friday, so.
Okay.
In 2 weeks, we're going to have a public hearing.
Moved by Commissioner Williams, second by Commissioner. I don't know. Yesterday. Oh, Commissioner Lynch, you had a question?
Yeah, I have a question. I guess I need somebody from MPC to come because when I read the language on here, it's the same as the one that, it looks like it's the same. Did you all do something different? You just brought it back on our agenda?
This came back on the agenda. The special projects, I believe, voted to keep it as was, but we still need to bring it back to the agenda.
Okay, there was a special projects meeting on this, or on this,
Yeah, it's been a couple weeks ago, yes.
what was the result of that? What did y'all,
They voted
We're gonna look at
to
it case by case.
handle on a case-by-case.
okay, I think what's before us now is a right by use. So this would need to be amended to indicate that, because what this is that they could do it by,
Automatic.
Call it, use by right.
Use by right,
In a
not by,
B3.
not by case by case.
Not on a case by case, that's not what this says. This is the original, section that they brought before us. Okay? So, thank you. Now, I can't support that.
Commissioner Escaday?
Stephen, you want to come let us explain this to everybody, please? Do you mind?
Basically, if you wanted to go on a case-by-case basis, the appropriate action would just be not to approve the ordinance, because it asks for a change in the use by right. So if you don't want to, if you want to leave it the same, then you would simply just not pass the ordinance.
What is it right now?
Right now, the way the ordinance reads is under the use by right in those two districts is beverage manufacturer, and then it has a parentheses right next to it that says not including alcoholic beverages. So what's in front of you would be basically taking out the language that says not including alcoholic beverages. So we're just treating all beverage manufacturers the same, whether it's alcoholic or not. It would only affect in those two districts, B4, of course, which you don't really have B4 in the parish, and in
So,
B3.
right now, as it is, you can look at it on a case by case.
Yes,
Do
yes,
nothing.
ma'am.
So,
So the appropriate action would be not, if you wanted to leave it the way it was, would just simply would not pass the ordinance.
Thank you, Steve.
When you say, I had a question. When you say two districts, what two districts are you talking about?
I'm talking about zoning districts.
Oh, zoning district, okay.
Yes, the B3 and the
B3
B4.
and B4s,
Yes,
which is
ma'am.
mostly in the city.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Escaday, did you have something?
Nope, I don't have anything.
Please vote. That passes. Next item.
Next zoning case number P5-13 in regard to ordinance number 5323, a 2013 Metropolitan Planning Commission applicant request to amend section 35-1 of chapter 35 of the Caddo Parish Code of Ordinances, Caddo Parish fees, rates, and charges ordinance, and various sections of chapter 54 of the Code of Ordinances to require specific forms of approval for location of manufactured housing.
So move, sir.
Been moved by Commissioner Williams.
I thought you stuck on
No
that.
second.
Get a second.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Epperson. Are there any discussion? Please vote.
Whoa, my thing's not coming up, but do have some discussion.
Commissioner Escaday.
I don't mind moving it forward, but we need to study this very carefully, because what it's going to do is specifically line out where people can have manufactured homes or mobile homes. There's a big difference between a mobile home and a manufactured home and all this. And I don't want to get heavy-handed in telling people where they can locate these subdivisions and these developments. My concern with this is this, I don't know what the origin is. It says the MPC has presented this for our consideration, but with our Unified Development Code study imminent, it will address this. And I think maybe that it'd be, there's no need for us to pass this right now or to change this until we see what the UDC has provided for it. But that's just my thoughts on it. Thank you.
Why did they bring it before us then?
I can't speak for the MPC as to why they decided to bring it before us. Maybe Stephen could.
Madam Chairman, let me...
It's pretty lengthy, 25 pages. Yeah, This was a request that actually came from one of our commissioners to look at.
One of who?
One of our commissioners.
Your MPC member?
MPC commission member. And that was a direct result of some issues that we've had in different neighborhoods regarding the use by right that currently exists in the residential districts. And when I'm talking about the R1 districts specifically, what the issue as it was described by that particular commissioner was that in some neighborhoods, you're able to, because of your private covenants and restrictions, be able to have certain types of structures and certain sizes of structures prohibited. But if you're in an older neighborhood where the covenants and restrictions have expired, well, then none of those provisions exist. And that was the discussion. What this ordinance does is it doesn't eliminate the path for approval for manufactured homes, but it just takes the use by right way where you would have to act, except in two districts, which is mobile home parks and mobile home subdivisions. Those by rights would remain. But if you wanted to go in any other residential district that was formally by right, then it would be a special exception. And what also happens with that is you'll also see a schedule of the fees. It puts there was a special exception approval fee that's $500. Under this ordinance, it would be a lesser amount for residential uses of $350. So it gives them a little bit of a break on the amount of fee that would normally be for special exception uses.
Okay, so this was brought up, or this concern was brought up by an MPC board member. Did
Originally.
the board vote affirmatively to request this change?
Yeah, what started out was we had an actual resolution.
Okay, I just want to make sure this is not the behest of one committee, that this is the majority of the commission members that, okay, that's fine.
And there was a public hearing held as well.
Thank you.
And the members of the manufactured home community had representatives there. They weren't really opposed to this particular change. What they did advocate was having some very specific standards in place for consideration of approval. And during that UDC process, they want to become engaged in that, and so that those standards could be developed.
Okay, is this a common occurrence? I mean, is this a real common thing that comes before the MPC?
Well, actually, it doesn't come in front of the MPC because it's a use by right. What happens is people are able to just have these homes built by just taking out a
Is there a rash of that going on? Or I mean, are there just a few instances that got their attention?
I think we've actually had a particular zoning case that occurred in West Shreveport where there was a change from a business district to a residential district, which allowed that by right once that residential district was passed. And I think that was part of the issue, was saying, well, wait a minute, now we can have a mobile home here, and we as a community really don't want to see see that happen. So I think that started some of the dialogue.
Well, let me ask you one last thing, and then I'll yield. So I want your personal opinion then. So you don't think this is a bad thing for us to do until the UDC is done?
I don't believe so, because we're not eliminating it. We're just creating a pathway so they can be considered.
Create the opportunity for these developments, just a different process.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Commissioner Williams?
Well, John answered a few questions, and I wanted to say, I'm going to say majority of them for Friday. All right?
So you get my time.
On the uniformity, even in my district, even Wells Island Road, there's gerrymandated there is special exception for trailer parks and mobile homes to be connected right next door to a house. It's not a surprise that we need an upgrade on our codes. They're outdated. And we do need some uniformity from the city and the parish-wide. I think you pretty much stated to Commissioner Escudé regarding, it's not going to affect the current ordinance that we had. All you do is allow them some special exception to be used in certain situations.
Right, it will eliminate them completely. There will be a pathway maintained where there can be an approval. But what is eliminated is a by right use where, and if I'm in a residential R1 district today, my pathway is right down the hall to the permit desk. And that will no longer be the case unless I'm in a mobile home subdivision or in a mobile home park.
What was the license fee? How much, the license fee for this? You said it was 500 or 350?
It's $350 on an on-time filing, and I believe it's goes up to $500 if they file under the normal deadline.
Right.
But today, special section approvals without that change would be $500 and $600, I believe.
Like
We did try to take into consideration, we're going to have more residential
Are
filings.
you
so we're-
expecting a big increase, what I'm saying?
It's hard to tell. We'd have to do a study to see how many permits are actually issued for manufactured homes in these
You know right
districts. I do not know off the top of my head.
I just know
If
what
that's
kind of
something you
money-
need to know.
I'd like to
then
know what kind of money it's making, that's what where's the money at for? That's what the 350 and the 5. I just want to know where we at in terms of, because it is.
I can do some inquiry to see, what we might anticipate, but I really don't know at this point until the filing started to occur.
Thank you.
All right.
Commissioner
Stay right
Johnson.
there, Steve.
Yes, sir.
I want to get a point of clarification. If we don't do anything at all, basically, in R1s, people can go in and put a trailer into an existing neighborhood that doesn't have a covenant.
Well, right now, when you say trailer, but they can put a manufactured home that's described in our ordinance, and most people would refer to it as a double wide home.
Double
That's a
wide
pitch
or
roof.
triple wide.
Right, but you can't do that with a single wide or mobile home as it's described in our ordinance. Now, what this ordinance change does is basically just groups them all together and just says they're all mobile.
Okay.
It removes that distinction that
So
we
if
currently have
we
today.
vote to pass this, then those neighborhoods, those older neighborhoods that doesn't have the covenant,
Right.
then people who want to put mobile homes or manufactured homes into those neighborhoods will have to come through and get a special permit for that.
They have to get a
Wait.
special exception approval, a use approval for it.
Okay, so basically, this protects some of the older neighborhoods from having the single, double, triple wides being added into the neighborhood without them having a covenant.
That it would put a requirement for the manufactured home.
Right, it'll have to go through a process. instead of
Right.
just
Right now, today, a
putting
single
the
wide would
wides
still,
in the trailer.
basically what you're doing, you'd have to have the same process that you'd have to have for a single wide, would be for a double wide as
It's just a
well.
process to put in place to get more people aware that this is about to happen, instead of someone clearing the lot off and putting it there and then everybody complains after the fact.
Right. This would give an opportunity for people to know what's coming ahead of time.
Thanks.
I'm putting
Commissioner
mine out.
Epperson.
If you'd like to see a contrast of brick homes on slab that was built from the ground up, you all know what I'm talking about. Take Pines Road, north of Jefferson Page on the east and west side, and you'll see that the compatibility just isn't there. And, so if you want to go out and look at something where there's a problem. Thank you.
Commissioner Dominic.
Steve, are any of these rates and fees, have they changed?
No, just that, the only thing that's changed is introduced a residential approval under the special exception.
Just that one?
Right, right. The reason when we produce those, we do the entire ordinance is because it reduces an errors when it's published, so.
Okay, thanks.
No more discussion, please vote. That passes. Next item, Mr.
Zoning
Clerk.
case number P7-13, regard to ordinance number 5324, 2013. 2539 East 70th Street, Architects Outdoor Products LLC applicant. Request to rezone property located on the southeasterly side of East 70th Street, 1,030 feet west of Dixie Meadow Road.
Moved by Commissioner Escaday,
Second.
second by Commissioner Lynn. Are there any discussion? Please vote. That passes. Next item, Mr. Clerk.
Authorize introduction of ordinance number 5325 of 2013, amending the budget of estimate revenues and expenditures for the general fund in the amount of $285,000 for the First Judicial District Court Drug Court Grant.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Williams, second by Commissioner Dominique, Commissioner Escaday.
Is this to accept funds from some source?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Is there any other discussion? If not, please vote. That passes. Next item, Mr. Clerk.
Authorize introduction of ordinance number 5326 of 2013, declaring certain adjudicated properties to be surplus and authorize the parish administrator designee to sell tax interest.
Move to Friday.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Lynn, second by Commissioner Johnson. Is there any discussion? If none, please vote. That passes. Next item, Mr. Clerk.
Authorize the ordinance number 5327 of 2013, amending and reenacting Article 3, Chapter 30 of the Code of Ordinances and to otherwise provide with respect thereto.
Recommend advancement for Friday, if I can get a second.
Second.
And there will be, like, as I stated, we'll have some, have the written policy by Friday. And I think it'll lay over for, what, 2 weeks?
Right.
Before.
More, because we don't, this is the only meeting
That's right.
we have in July, so it'll be in August.
Okay. That way we have a chance to look over.
Right.
Been moved by Commissioner Williams, second by Commissioner, moved by Commissioner Epperson, second by Commissioner Escaday. Is there any more discussion? Not, please vote. That passes. Next item, Mr.
Authorize
Clerk.
ordinance number 5328 of 2013, providing for the hiring of Caddo Parish attorney.
Madam Chairman, I'd like to withdraw this ordinance if I can get a second.
Second.
Been moved by Commissioner Escaday, second by Commissioner Lynn to withdraw. Is there any discussion? Not, please, Commissioner Johnson.
What's the alternative?
Just want to go away? Alternative? What's your sell? It's a no-brainer.
Is there any other discussion? Not, please vote.
Just in case.
That passes.
Authorize ordinance number 5329 of 2013, abolishing the office of the parish attorney for Caddo Parish.
Move to remove from the agenda if I can get a second, please.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Escaday, second by Commissioner Dominique to remove. Is there any discussion? If not, please vote. That passes. Next item, Mr. Clerk.
Authorize resolution number 32 of 2013, approving the issuance, sale, and delivery of not exceeding $13,800,000 of taxable hospital revenue bonds for North Caddo Hospital Service District, Caddo Parish.
Move.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Dominique, second by Commissioner Williams. Is there any, Commissioner Epperson?
Mr. Dominique, give me a little 101 quickie on how this works on that. That's that rural hospital.
Yes, the rural hospital that we don't own, we don't have anything to do with, but pursuant to the statute, we do make appointments to the board. You remember a couple of months ago, David Jones, who was the administrator, came here and made a presentation. There was a sales tax that were voted on, and they're going to build a hospital or redo the hospital in North Caddo and Vivian. Anyway, pursuant to the statute, whenever they're going to borrow money, they have to go to the bonding commission, but they also have to get approval from us since we do appoint those board members, and this is just allowing them to borrow those funds and continue to build the hospital. There was 3 different mechanisms, if I remember correctly, on how they were going to fund the hospital through different bonds. So this is just preliminary matter that would allow them to do that.
Sales tax is what pays for this.
Yeah, they have I
exclusively
think pretty much the sales tax and maybe some portion of their general fund will pay for it, but the people in North Caddo, which was all my district and did not include all my districts, Vivian, Ida, Gillum, maybe part of Morningsport and Oil City, have voted on that overwhelmingly to do the sales tax, probably sometime about this time last year, wasn't it, Todd? So it's all in the rural area.
Thank you.
Is there any other discussion?
Y'all can run LSU then.
All right, please vote.
We're gonna run that far.
It passes. Next item is clerk.
Authorize resolution number 33 of 2013, approving the issuance, sale, and delivery not exceeding $6,200,000 taxable sale tax bonds, North Caddo Hospital Service District.
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Dominic, second by Commissioner Williams. Is there any discussion?
Same concept, Mr. Thomas?
Overall, Doc.
Please vote. It passes. Next item is
Authorize
clerk.
resolution number 34 of 2013, urging and requesting the Metropolitan Planning Commission and Zoning Board of Appeals amend their bylaws to require electronic voting during their respective meetings.
Move to Friday.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Lynn, second by Commissioner Escudate. Commissioner Johnson.
What do they currently do now? Show of hands? Ayes, nays?
Actually, I'll be happy to talk on it. What they do now is they either say yay, nay, or they don't say anything at all. And a lot of times that's the case, is that nobody says anything in their voice. They're recorded as a yay, though they might have wanted to abstain or say no.
I'm good.
All right.
Please vote.
Get him.
We gotta go on record, sure.
That passes. Next item, Mr. Clerk.
Authorize resolution number 35 of 2013, amending the rules and bylaws of the Caddo Parish Commission. And that's for travel policy.
Recommend advance to
Do what?
Friday.
Second. What is this for?
That deals with the travel policy portion.
Move it, but it's not cut out.
Is it on the committee?
Discuss it Friday.
Been moved by Commissioner Epperson, second by Commissioner Lynch. Commissioner Lynch.
Yeah, this is, we're gonna be taking this up in the committee, but the resolution won't be up for final adoption until our first meeting in August. So this is just moving it forward.
Commissioner Escudate.
Okay, so we're moving a resolution forward to Thursday.
Friday.
For Friday, I'm sorry, Jesus. There you go, call me Michael. Not really. That's not fully been written and complete yet?
It's gonna be discussed in committee.
Okay, that's fine, I'm just, okay, fine. Thank you.
Please vote.
Just move it forward.
Yeah.
It passes. Next item.
Authorize resolution number 36 of 2013, urging the Biomedical Research Foundation to add 9 members to their governing operations board for the operations of LSU Medical Center, Shreveport, and E.A. Conway Hospital in Monroe.
Recommend moving forward to Friday.
Discuss it.
Moved by Commissioner Epperson, second by Commissioner
Williams.
Johnson.
That's good. Right on, John.
Commissioner Epperson.
Mr. Wilson, could you get me a couple more pieces of information from the Biomed Research Center? Will the current board be operating the LSU Med Center and the E.A. Conway, or will that be a new board? I need to know that.
New board.
Yes, sir, it's a new board. I've already asked that question.
The new board?
Yes, sir, new board.
Okay. Could you get me those names so I can have those Friday? Yes, thank you.
Is there any more discussion? Please vote. That passes. Next item, Ms. Clerk.
Authorize resolution number 37, 2013, ordering and calling a special election to be held in Caddo Parish to vote upon adoption of amendments to the Home Rule Charter, making application to the State Bond Commission.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Lynch, second by Commissioner Epperson. Is there any discussion? If none, please vote.
Man, can we all just get
That
along?
passes. Next item, Mr. Clerk.
Authorize Resolution 38, 2013, urging the parish administrator to postpone appointment and hiring of parish attorney.
This time I'd like to recognize Administrator Wilson.
I would ask that at this time, before we make a motion, I move to pull this.
Second.
Okay?
Did you
Yes.
want to say something?
That's Commissioner Escade's motion, ma'am. The next one is
Yeah.
10 to me.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Been moved and seconded that this
It's
mo- be
moved by
removed.
Commissioner Escudé, second by Commissioner Lynn to remove it. Commissioner Williams?
No, I didn't, that was them. That wasn't me.
No, your name's
You're on the
up
board.
here.
Oh, I
Speak.
sure ain't talking about no postpone, nothing here.
Yeah, your name.
Get it right. Let me just say, I beg to differ with Commissioner Escudé. I think oftentimes Commissioner Day does have some good worthwhile ideals.
He's pulling it, Mr. Williams.
Pulling it.
He's pulling it. He's pulling that.
Pulling it.
Oh, okay. Then.
All right.
I'm ready to fight.
I'm fine.
Please vote.
Wait after the fourth, Michael.
Oh, you went for?
Just wait after the fourth.
Okay. Okay, I had put on my makeup and.
That passes. Next item.
Meet you Thursday when
Mr.
we're
Clerk.
together.
Okay, no problem.
Next item.
Authorize appointment of Caddo Parish attorney.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Lynch, second by Commissioner Johnson. Mr. Wilson?
Yes, ma'am. I just want to make a comment. I'd like to move that, suggest that this be postponed to next month.
Why is that? I'm just, what we know? Why do you ask the question? Let me, wait.
Commissioner Williams?
Yeah, I mean, why are we waiting to postpone for next month? I'm just curious.
Okay.
We have a capable staff member. We've been waiting in the wings. Like most employees that are hired within, I believe hired within our department, because we have some of the best employees in America that works and serve at the pleasure of the parish administrator. The parish attorney office was created several years ago, back with Commissioner Ken Everton, I was here. And it served at the pleasure of the parish administrator, Section 5 of the charter, which most department heads do. Now, I feel, it's your decision, but however, we do have someone who's been shadowing our parish attorney, who has a despicable record of serving in public office from the city to the parish. And I think she have had the opportunity to learn from one of the best. I've been always agreed with our parish attorney, but I think I put him up against some of the attorneys all over this country in terms of knowing government policy, rules and regulations. Him and Danny Malone. Them have been the only two that have served in this capacity. And it's been very diverse. And that's what we want, is diversity in Caddo Parish. And we have a capable employee that serves, faithfully, has been watching and learning from our parish attorney. And I was under the impression that I came in today ready to make that vote, ready to make that support of assistant parish attorney, Ms. Frazier. But unfortunately, you have a right to change your mind, and I respect that. But I hope we don't get off track, because a few commissioners have hemmed you up to the point where you don't want to make a tough decision. Well, the seat you wear is a tough seat. You gotta have big shoes to wear that seat. You have to make tough decisions. You haven't always made an appointment that I like and I agree with, but I support you because you're the parish administrator. That is the charter. That is the charter. That's the way it's written. You don't like it? Ask the people to change the charter. You are the parish administrator. You have to make tough decisions. And if you're going to support a parish attorney, you have to have someone you have confidence in. You inherit Mr. Grubb. You inherit him, but you work with him. And you have trained the lady behind. I don't like when we go outside and hire people that sit in the wings waiting to be promoted. It hurts the morale. I don't think people work in departments or work on a job to go train somebody, then they be their boss. That ain't right. Been doing it for too long. Now we have a chance to elect the first woman, first African-American woman, to serve as the parish administrator. That is diversity. That is progressive. That's what the rest of the country is doing. They're moving forward. Don't be afraid to make tough decisions. She has, most of the people, department heads here have more education than people, and some people got positions. Most of the minority got more education than everybody up here, and they're making less money. That ain't right. You cannot be afraid in the South to move forward. The good old boy gone. Ain't no more good old boy rednecks down here no more. Some of the seats are the same, but some of the faces have changed, but the seats are still the same. We got to move forward. We got to let go of that rebel flag, that good old boy, and understand she's a lady. She deserved to be promoted. She done went to school and got an education. She done stood by Mr. Grubbs' back. She done stood by this parish back, and she have the right to move in her rightful seat as the parish administrator. She's competent. You got a PhD. Most people in the department, she got a Master Plus. CPA. I mean, what do we have to be double qualified to get a position in this country? They beating up women all in Congress. They don't want to have equal pay for a woman. Some of the people in the Republican Party in Congress. It's wrong. You do the same work, you ought to get paid. That ain't right. Don't make no sense. We go to school, we get a PhD, we get a master, we do this. Still ain't good enough. What they wanted to do in this country? What do they want to do, Ms. Lynch? They wanted to do. You stay out of trouble. You don't go to jail. You do the right thing. You raise your family. You go to church, and you sit on the job, wait to get promoted. And what happened? They closed the door in your face like when I was judicial judge, Supreme Court Judge Clarence Thomas. Close the door on everybody else. It ain't right. We got to bow up and have some courage and move forward in this country. This country ain't just about black and white no more. There's Latino, Asian American. We are very diverse in America now. The greatest country on the planet. People come here for hope and prosperity. Let's move forward. We don't have no reason to delay for what? You still can contract and sub out work to other attorneys. That's what they worried about. This lady don't have no right to be waiting in the wing for what? She ready to fly. You trying to clip her wing? Let her fly. And we not going to always agree with the parish attorney. We're not going to always agree with the public works director. But you hire them because they're competent. You don't micromanage them. You allow them to make decisions. You've been a good leader. Regardless of whatever, you're still a good leader. But sometimes you got to go over and make tough decisions. And we have no administrative responsibility getting in your business to tell you who to appoint, even though we may not like it. I don't like some of the appointments you made, but I went on and went with it. I supported you. We're not going to always agree. Let's agree to be disagreeable. But what they say when we don't promote a woman? Most women vote. What, they want to walk around with a basket on their head, barefooted? Them days are over. Don't nobody do that no more. It's time for a change. Let's move forward. Let's vote and let's put Ms. Frazier in her rightful position. She done earned, she done paid her due, and let's move forward. Thank you.
Commissioner Bowman.
Yes, sir. Dr. Wilson, I just had a general question. Whether it's the person like Ms. Donna, right? Wouldn't it be advantageous to go ahead and promote or to hire whoever it is that you're trying to do now, and that gives them or her a better time in the transition period to work with the parish attorney? Wouldn't that limit the time that you move it?
Probably so, sir. But my recommendation to the ladies had nothing to do with Frazier's qualifications, our ability, because I still stand by her. However, if I had to take a vote in here today, there's not enough support for that, and that's one to not make that an issue. So we want to delay it, maybe look at some other things as we move forward towards next month and bring it back before you.
Okay.
Is that all? I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So you're looking to delay it for how long?
To next month. That should be, Mr. Grubbs is retiring next month.
Mr. Grubbs retiring in the next month.
Yes, ma'am, he is. That's what he told me. Of course, he can speak for himself.
You change your mind?
My target is the end of August, Commissioners, and I've
This is July.
expressed to the administrator, and I believe to you, Madam President, that there's a little flexibility there, but the flexibility is not unlimited. But I want to work with the commission to facilitate a smooth transition to whoever my successor is.
Can I ask you, who you recommend? When you recommend Ms. Fraser?
Commissioner, respectfully, I'm not going to answer that question. I've had personal conversations with the administrator about this.
You're not going to recommend Ms. Fraser?
I am not going to.
Somebody recommend you?
I am not going to say in a public session what my recommendations are. I'm all, period. It's just not appropriate for me to do so.
Okay. So you think next month is enough time?
I guess it's about a month and a half. Today is the 1st, and he's not leaving until the 2nd, so that's about 60 days. That should be enough.
He's leaving August, into August.
Yes,
2
ma'am.
months.
Today is the 1st of July.
It ain't right.
And you said this is going to be delayed until August.
Yes, ma'am.
So that's going to be 30
We have four-
days.
We don't meet.
Yeah, you have no more meetings this month. You have 4 meetings in August. So the matter should be brought back to you with second meeting within August.
Well,
Gives us 30 days plus 45 days to make a decision, ma'am. As to,
some of the things that Commissioner Williams said are some good things, and that some of it was true. My only issue with the whole scenario is what has happened in the process, and 2 ordinances on here, 2 resolutions on here concerning appointing of an attorney, and today we're not even appointing an attorney. And one of the things that I'm concerned about is our assistant attorney right now, being that she was a candidate for the position of,
it still is.
well, being that she is a candidate for the position, and we have to go through all this, and then we don't do anything. It's like you wonder how you're thinking about what she's feeling right now.
Amen.
And what's in her mind. And the most thing that disappoints me with this entire board is the fact that, and I thought about this the weekend, I thought about how we as a board of 12 people are supposed to be diplomatic, and we're supposed to be professional leaders, and then we can't even come together and make a decision on promoting someone who's been working with the commission for over 5 years or more, 8 years, and we can't even come to a decision, to make a decision to even promote her. And then we put this person through all this back and forth and do this and do that, and then we don't do nothing. And that's very unprofessional, and it looks bad for this entire board. And it looks bad for leaders to want to take a position of being the power of the board when you have 12 people that's elected to serve on this board, but it's like so many can make a decision and then nothing's done. And so it's very disappointing. It's very embarrassing. It's embarrassing to the public. And I today, speaking as a citizen of Caddo Parish, I wouldn't want none of us to represent me if we can't even make a decision on promoting someone that's been working for us for 8 years, and we have to put them through a ringer like this and treat them like this. Amen. Right in their face.
Preach, girl, preach.
So that's all I have to say about it. Like Commissioner Lynch.
Let me ask, I almost called you Commissioner, Mr. Wilson.
Yes, ma'am.
What is it that you hope to accomplish within the next month? I'm just not real clear, because, from my conversation on this, your recommendation is firm.
Yes.
And as I appreciate it, that's not gonna change if it's today or if it's 30 days from now.
That's correct, ma'am.
So what is it that you're trying to accomplish by postponing this?
Yes, ma'am. It appears that there is some concern among this board that they express desire for me to take a look at a broader perspective on possible candidates. And then if among those candidates, if the person I'm recommending still emerges as at the top, then that's it. But they wanted perhaps a wider view to make sure that I'm looking at the best candidate. It's been expressed to me.
Okay. So I guess by you having a recommendation, had you already considered that as a factor prior to recommending the recommendation that you made?
Ma'am, actually, I had an opportunity, well, let me say this. The last time I used a different process going outside the organization where I didn't have an assistant. Well, I felt that because I have an assistant across the spectrum of departments, and we spend a lot of time developing these folks, I'm comfortable that the people that we develop can handle the tasks. But I don't want to come in here and fight over issues. And I wanted to go forward because it's not fair, as Ms. Baker said, to the person I'm nominating. So to clear the air, to perhaps make things go smoother in this process, I did acquiesce to the fact that I will look at some other things to see perhaps the different view, but my view will not change, ma'am. I mean, I'm not saying I'm close to it, but my candidate is still the candidate I'm recommending.
Okay. Well, it sounds like to me we're gonna end up doing just what we did when we selected a clerk. We spent, I don't know how much money, was it $14,000-$15,000? $16,000 to do what folks were gonna do before we ever went out. And, you know, it was just a big, colossal waste of time and waste of taxpayers' money. I'm just not understanding. You know, some folks have a problem, you know, evidently with your recommendation for whatever reason. I have my own opinions about that, but certainly one monkey don't stop no show. And I just think we need to move forward in the best interest of the parish. I mean, I know there have been two nominations that you've made that I didn't support. And I have a vote, and I voted no. It was 11-1, I think, both times. So you register your concern with your vote, not to try to uproot and disrupt the whole process, you know, because it's, you know, the person is the wrong color, the person is the wrong gender, the person is, you know, whatever criteria you're using. You know, it just doesn't make sense to me. I don't think it's right. And, you know, like Ms. Baker, I'm very disappointed that members of this body would, you know, try to move forward from abolishing the attorney's office altogether to, you know, institute changing the rules midstream and so on and so forth just to get their way. You know, this is not a playground. This is not a place to throw a temper tantrum when there's something going on you don't like. Be responsible and respectful, as we, you know, claim that we always are. We can do that. And let's move on. I'm going to be voting yes to move forward with authorizing the appointment. There's no name on here, so I don't know, you know, but this is just to move forward with authorizing the appointment. There's no name on here, so I'm assuming, you know, that at some point we'll get a name, but what's before us today is just to move forward with the administrator authorizing the appointment of the Caddo Parish attorney. Thank you.
Commissioner Johnson?
Move that we go into executive session to discuss the Caddo Parish attorney position.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Johnson, second by
Go to the gym.
Second by Commissioner
Notice anyway.
Bowman, that we go into
Can't do it.
executive session. Attorney Grubb,
Got to give a notice.
First of all, that would be an agenda addition that would require unanimous vote.
You need opinion on that, did you?
And commissioners also, going into executive session to talk about individuals requires a procedure involving notice to the individual, and the individual has the right to make the meeting public, and I know Ms. Frazier sitting out here in the audience, but I think to just immediately go into an executive session to talk about this is unfair to her. I think an executive session would be appropriate, certainly, in fact, it's mandated if you want to talk about this, but my recommendation would be to decide to do it Friday, if that's the pleasure of the commission. You could do that by just simple majority vote today to add that item to the agenda Friday.
So right now, we would have to vote for an
It's
agenda.
got to be unanimous.
It would have to
Gotta
be
be
unanimous
unanimous,
vote.
too.
It has to be unanimous vote now, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And it would be, and just to be clear, it would be inconsistent with state law, which mandates a 24-hour notice to the affected individual.
Because you would have to do it Friday, he's saying.
So,
Friday.
okay. You're gonna withdraw that?
Wait, you skipped me.
Okay. Commissioner Epperson?
I'd like to make a motion that the parish attorney replacement be selected in the first meeting in August. We recommend the first meeting in August. I might get a second.
Commissioner Epperson, second by Commissioner Williams, that the parish attorney be selected the first regular meeting?
Right, first regular meeting in August, because you can't, put it on the work session agenda, and nothing can be formal until the first meeting. What date would that be, please, ma'am, so I can get a date?
Another agenda.
August 8th is the...
August the 8th.
It's another agenda
That's an
addition.
agenda addition.
That's correct.
No, this is a motion to, it's a substitute motion to what's on the floor.
Well, okay, well, you didn't say it was a substitute motion. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
You didn't use those words, so.
Okay.
That's fine.
All right, you got me?
Gotcha.
You got me, Mr.?
It's okay.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Do it during this agenda.
This is horrible. It's absolutely horrible.
Amen.
I wouldn't head up an institution, an organization, or a family, or any relationship unless I was capable of making good, strong decisions and standing by them with convictions. I received some information that some outsider had called and was going to recommend somebody, Mr. Williams, to put in our house.
Ain't that something?
Did you hear me? Some outsider. Last I knew, I was elected by the citizens of District 12, and each of you, with the exception of Mr. Bowman, was appointed by us interim by our respective constituents. This is our house.
Amen.
We hired Mr. Wilson to take care of his responsibilities and his duties, and I think that should be done.
Amen.
Now, if we're gonna do this thing every time something come up, we're gonna get 2 or 3 commissioners gonna go to Mr. Wilson and say, we're gonna put some heat on your butt because we don't want this. We will never get anywhere. And how does that make us look? I think we've been doing quite well with the disagreements that we've had. We win some, we lose some, we swallow, we walk off, and we come for another day. But I think it's just appalling. How would you like to work on a job?
Amen.
All that time, have you capable, you experience when somebody's absent or whatever it is, you filling in, you capable. Then it comes up, it's a whole different ball game. It's a different ball game. Mr. Wilson, did you receive written correspondence from Mr. Grubbs as to his resignation?
It's the same, he got the same letter that y'all got copies
Okay,
of.
and what was that? Do you have it? I missed my copy. You
Yes,
have a
I have it
copy?
here. I have it here.
How did it read? I just want to make sure we understood how it read. And I don't see no issue in waiting along no 2 months to have him here. We've had positions that have been replaced, Mr. Williams, during our tenure here, whereas the people had to move on, and they willingly came back at the call and helped out if there was a problem.
That's right.
You know, unless it's gonna move to Timbuktu or somewhere. I don't see an issue.
That's why I said anytime between.
So I would hope you would support my motion, Mr. Wilson. My colleague, Mr. Wilson, I would hope you would make that decision. Because as far as I'm concerned, Ms. Frazier is quite capable. And if she weren't, she and any other staffer that's been here all that period of time, they should have been gone a long time ago. I don't see an issue with it. I think it's just cruel for us to, for y'all, whoever it is, to do what we are doing here today. And I think we need to make that appointment immediately and go forward with it. Thank you.
Can I
Mr.
ask a
Jefferson,
point
do
of
you want-
clarification on your motion? Because what's on the agenda now is to move it to Friday, for the appointment to be made Friday, but you want to do it first meeting in
August.
August.
This is a substitute motion to whatever the motion was prior to mine, to advance this to Friday, to make the appointment on August the 8th.
Point of information, what's on the agenda, the main motion is the request for it to be withdrawn.
Okay.
No, it's an authorized.
Yours is to postpone.
No. Mr. Wilson asked for it to be postponed.
The
My
fifth.
motion was to move it to Friday.
He said motion.
Okay.
He made another
I
motion.
missed that
No,
one.
he's saying the
that's fine.
original motion.
That's fine, that's fine.
Attorney
The motion was
Grubb,
to move the appointment to Friday.
What?
The theater.
Attorney Grubb.
I'm next.
No, you said,
I'm not
I know you are, but you've already
Spoken once
spoken.
already, you gotta
Spoke
wait.
once already.
You've already
I got to
spoken.
preach some more, man.
Everybody gets to speak first, and you
Attorney
preach some more.
Grubb,
It ain't gonna go nowhere.
Commissioners,
Point of information, I'm going to withdraw my motion. I misunderstood. I'm withdrawing now.
Withdraw my second.
okay.
Now what's,
I withdrew mine.
what's on the floor?
What's the floor is to
As
appoint,
administrator
Still
said.
and then
Questioning.
He wants-
Mr. Wilson asked that we postpone it till the 1st of
The
August.
motion is Lynch's motion. She has a motion.
No,
We need
he
to
didn't make a
do a
motion. He said whatever he had to say.
Right, that's correct.
My motion is to move forward with the appointment. Authorizing him to make the appointment.
For
For
Friday.
what day? For Friday.
Right, move it to
Who
Friday.
seconded?
I did.
Mr.
I know
Johnson?
who it was.
I did.
I've got Mr. Johnson down.
Mr. Johnson?
Johnson.
Okay.
Okay.
That's what.
Now we got it right.
Charles?
We got it right.
Commissioners, when Commissioner Williams asked me a few minutes ago what my recommendation was to the administrator, I refused to answer that question, and I'm going to continue to refuse to answer that question because I don't, for the same reasons, I don't think, just like y'all enjoy confidential communications with me,
Right.
what the administrator does too. And so I'm not going to breach that confidence. But I do want to say this. Whether or not an individual is appropriate to succeed me is not for me to determine. It is for the administrator and y'all collectively to make that decision. As y'all know, in the 11 years I've had this job, I have direct responsibilities to the administrator and direct responsibilities to y'all. So I think everybody sitting around this table certainly has an interest and a right to input in who succeeds me. The thing that I feel terrible about is I have worked with the current assistant parish attorney for a long time, and she has done terrific service to this parish. Now, as the assistant parish attorney. I want to make it clear, I'm not interjecting myself in whether she's going to be the next parish attorney or not. But it is very unfortunate that she is kind of being made like a ping pong ball sitting around this table today. And I want everybody around this table to know, and anybody that's listening to this meeting by any other means to know, that the assistant parish attorney has done yeoman service to this parish in the 6 years that she's been here. The responsibilities that she's had regarding litigation, we've had no bad surprises at all, which is, I guess, the best way I'm going to compliment it, since we usually play defense in our litigation. She's well recognized around the country as a municipal lawyer. As some of y'all or all y'all know, she's in line to be the president of the ABA section, American Bar Association section on state and local government in a few years. When those people meet, they fill up a Hilton hotel or a Marriott hotel or something. What I'm trying to say, folks, is I understand the process in selecting the parish attorney, and you're not hearing me say that I recommend her or whatever. But what you all are hearing me say is, it is very regrettable to me that she's been made a football in this process because she doesn't deserve it.
Commissioner Escaday.
That's a point well made, Mr. Grubb. I don't think anybody up here doubts the qualifications of the assistant parish attorney. I don't think that's a doubt at all. What has brought us to this point was that immediately after your retirement, I know I personally, and I think some others, requested we be able to sit down with Mr. Wilson and discuss what we would like, some of the qualities that we'd like to make sure that the next parish attorney had, whoever that may be, based on our experience in working with you, some of the things that were important to us. Not to tell him how to do his job, not to recommend anybody, just to communicate our thoughts. At that particular time, I was told that I'd have that opportunity. In the interim, that changed, and the decision was made and expedited. I didn't have that opportunity, nor did anybody else. And so as a matter of courtesy, I would have liked that opportunity. So I'm not doubting the qualifications of the individual. You know, what I'm personally a little bit upset is the fact that I'd like to at least have my thoughts known so he could consider those when he was considering his decision. And since he doesn't know my thoughts on it, he couldn't consider those when he was making his decision. Now, I understand this is an unusual position. You serve, and as your assistant, the 12 of us individually, collectively, and the administration. So really, if you want to get down, there's 13 people that you have to work with and kind of keep happy. Well, I would have preferred, since one individual is going to choose for the other 12 of us what's best for us, that I would have been able to communicate my thoughts on that before that decision was made. It's kind of like an arranged marriage. And they're usually not happy marriages. I just wanted to see what the brides were going to look like, you know, before the decision was made. So that's my only point. It is not so much that I do not recognize the charter and Mr. Wilson's authority to make the appointment. And I mean this, and I have all the respect for Mr. Wilson in the world. But if this has gotten uncomfortable and unseemly and unsightly, it's only because he didn't do his job. And that is make sure he had the support for the nomination before he decided to go a different tack and move forward at this speed with it. So nobody here has triggered this. He'd have had his votes lined up, and that's fine. This thing would have been mute. But there are some concerns and some people who want something to say. So it wasn't my actions or anybody else's actions that have brought us to this. I'd have preferred no names ever be mentioned. You never come to hear me mention anybody's name. And it is unfortunate. And I understand the charter gives him that permission. Well, let me ask you a question. Charter provides that he hires. Billy Hanna hired you. Did Mr. Wilson fire you? Mr. Grubb, can Mr. Wilson, it's a yes or no, can he fire you?
Yes.
Can he fire you without the consent of this body?
I'm pretty proud, Commissioner Escaday, that I've lasted 11 years without anybody asking me who can fire me. And I'm not going to answer the question off the top of my head.
We've had this discussion before, have we not?
We have. but
And have you not told me in the past, it is your opinion that you think it'd be very difficult for the parish attorney, based on the nature of that position and our organizational structure, for him to fire us without our consent? There's some ambiguity there. Would you not admit it's not crystal clear?
There's a lot of ambiguity.
Very good. That's all you need to say. Then I won't pin you down. Okay, so, yeah, that's questionable. So, is it not then maybe reasonable to consider that it may be questionable that he can, in fact, hire without the consent of this body? It cannot.
I'll just say that I agree with you that my position and the assistant parish attorney's position are unique positions in that we're required to maintain professional relationships with, first of all, the 13 of y'all, and then after that, the department heads and stuff like that. But, I mean, I agree with that.
So the way the charter was written, it was written the way it is, and the ordinance that created the Office of Parish Attorney is written the way it is, but it may not have anticipated a conflict. Let me ask you another question. Based on your duties as parish attorney, your first obligation, what I imagine, is to the rule of law and the citizens of Caddo, correct?
Now, I like to say it's the parish. I'm the parish attorney. I'm not
Well, the parish being the city, the citizens of Caddo?
It's the government. It's the governmental unit of Caddo Parish,
Okay, which includes what?
which includes the parish of Caddo, as opposed to the Caddo Parish Commission or the administrator or whatever. It is the
Well,
parish
the people,
government.
you're saying it in a different way. I said the citizens, you're saying the parish. Okay, I got it. So that and the rule of law is your first priority.
Point of order, Madam President. This is my point of order recognized, please. This is not a trial. I feel like I'm watching a Zimmerman, Trayvon Martin. You know,
I'm almost
it's
done.
not material to the motion that's on the floor.
Oh, yes, it is.
Interrogation of the parish attorney on his opinion about the charter. We're not talking about the charter yet. So I'm just, saying, it just seems like he's on a
Madam
witness
Chairman,
stand.
I'm almost finished, and I've indulged Ms. Lynch on past occasions listening to stuff. I'm almost finished. You killed my train of thought. Thank you. Thank you. Your mission accomplished. Anyway, let me ask you this. I don't think that when the charter and the ordinance was written, they anticipated that there could possibly be a conflict. Now, I know that, did Mr. Wilson, did he ask you about his authority and executive authorities and obligations and duties as provided by in the charter in this matter? Did you consult him about that?
Because he
Oh,
knew
didn't
the
you?
precedent, but a commissioner did.
Okay.
And so I wrote an opinion about it.
Nope. Okay. All I'm saying, guys, is this is our hire, and all I think is we ought to be able to at least let the person know who's going to make this selection for all of us, know individually what our thoughts are. And I'm sure we have a qualified person. No doubt about that. But I also know this. I go to my doctor and he's qualified to do what he does. And I don't want somebody else picking my doctor for me. And this is the same thing. This is the most important position, probably more than the administrator, because the parish attorney helps us do our job representing the 20-some-odd thousand people that we represent. So that's where it is. I will ultimately support Mr. Wilson's nomination, hopefully. But, I certainly thought and think and still say that each of us should have had an opportunity to express our wants, dreams, hopes, and desires before he made that decision, and we weren't able to, so, it's totally left out. Thank you.
Commissioner Lynn?
And again, for Attorney Grubb, when you were hired for the job of the Caddo Parish representing attorney, how did you find out about that job? Was it advertised?
My recollection is that I lucked across it in a little ad in the classified section of the paper.
So you found out about the job that you have now based on a classified ad?
That's my recollection, yes.
Thank you. That's all, Madam President.
Mr. Williams?
I just want to make a couple of things clear. When our finance director, Hugh Warmsley, left, he recommended our finance director. Now, Mr. Raymond left, he recommended Mr. Wesley. And I don't know if Mr. Hannell recommended you. I'm not sure. But somebody got recommended for something up here. Even you, Mr. Grubb, may not public say it, but you got recommended. Else you wouldn't have been here. I know it's not public to say that, but you got recommended. Even though you can say you looked in the paper all you want, you still got recommended based on your qualification and experience. And I think it's still saying that it's unfair that our parish ministers can't bow up because a few people had them jammed up in a room, and all of a sudden now you change your mind. You got to be a man up here.
Madam President.
This is about me. You can't be afraid to make tough decisions. You're not going to always get the majority. Be nice. This ain't no miracle. We ain't going to always hold hand and agree. You make those decisions and live with the consequences. Sometimes they're going to be good, sometimes they're going to be. So, but I just wanted to set the record atmosphere clear that everybody pulled somebody up behind them. They didn't leave them hanging. And it's unfair, like you said, and like the president said, it's unfair that this lady, she's the lady. The Republican Party is known for beating up on women all throughout Congress. It's not nothing unusual here on the local level. They can say all the hogwash they want, they can cover it up, but the issue is she's the lady. And that's unfair to beat up on this most qualified, in line to be president. Like I said, we got to be super qualified for the position. Don't make no sense, Commissioner Epperson.
Wow.
They don't want to get no education, don't get no job, and we got to be super qualified to get that. Sweep the floor, we got to have a PhD. It don't make no sense. Down here, we supposed to be progressive, we supposed to be to move forward, we supposed to be diversified, we supposed to be able to work together. But when something come, it ain't together, because it ain't my way. And it's just totally a shame. And most of these guys will be married. And that's unfair. America has changed. We may have a lady run for president of the United States of America. So I think we need to get out of that good old boy, old-fashioned mentality, and we need to move forward.
Thank you, sir.
Got elected just like I did. If I want to talk, I'm going to talk. If the parliamentarian tell me wrong, I may still keep on talking.
Time up.
Because it don't make no sense what's going on. Y'all better recognize what's going on here.
Time up.
You know, racism is still alive and well down here in the South. You can say that if you want. They can smile in your face. They're going to let you know one day what time it is.
Ms. Williams, time up.
Commissioner Bowman?
Yes, Madam President, I'd like to call for the question.
Second.
Moved and second to call for a question. Please vote. That passes. Now we vote on the motion.
What is the motion, please?
Authorize the appointment of the Caddo Parish Attorney.
To move to Friday.
To move to Friday. Please vote.
They got to ask John what to do. Well, what do you mean? Oh, Lord.
Oh, Michael, calm
He
down.
asked you what I need to do.
Calm down.
Did not.
Nobody didn't.
We trying to get the machine.
Yeah, they got it, finally.
Now you should vote. It's up now.
I couldn't see.
It passed.
It passed.
7-4.
Next item, Mr. Clerk.
Next item.
Change the time for the Friday, July 5th regular session meeting.
So move. I guess I'll get a second.
Second, Ken?
I wanted a point of information.
What time?
I just was moving it up in the morning, instead of us waiting till 3:30 that afternoon to have a meeting.
No, I got
No, but see, you can't do anything official in the work session. It had to be a special meeting. So it has to remain where it is.
So say that again?
It's a work session. You can't have any official action in the work session.
What's a
Only thing you
work
can do is
session?
advance to Thursday. See, had you done this, it should have been done in the meeting where you changed it initially. Voted on.
Is that correct, Mr. Group?
Hey, I've been here 20 years.
Well, that's what he's for, though.
He get ready to leave.
You mean we gotta come Thursday?
That's right, no.
We already
I'm
voted
listening.
to move it to
That
Friday.
was Friday.
The
You have
time,
an
you
opinion,
can't change.
Mr. Parliamentarian?
My opinion goes along with what Mr. Epperson said. Basically, this is the work session, so this would have had to come up on the last meeting for us to vote on it in order for it to happen on Friday at a different time.
Even she's changing the time.
I mean, we voted last month to do Thursday, Wednesday to Friday.
At 3:30.
It should have been at the same.
It said at 3:30.
Right.
Friday,
Right.
right?
It should have been done at the
Fine,
same
I don't think
time.
we had a time. Did it say a time?
Our set time was 3:30 Friday.
Did we say that?
That's understood when we changed.
I know it was
from-
understood, because
Yeah.
I didn't say a time.
And what about your notice and publication and
Well,
hearings? Everybody said.
But I'm not gonna cry with spilled milk. If we don't wanna change it, we come at 3:30.
That's fine.
All
Leave it
right.
like it is. I will draw
I
it.
just had to drive back from down.
Next item,
Well, you gotta withdraw it, man.
Yeah.
I just did.
Well, you have to.
You officially withdraw.
We 3:30 Friday? What time? Y'all call.
3:30 Friday.
3:30 Friday. It says it's got to be like that, so that's the way it be. So, we're voting to withdraw it from the agenda, period.
So we're not going,
We're
we're
not,
coming,
we're
we're coming
coming at
Thursday?
3:30.
No, we're coming Friday.
Friday at 3:30.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
We moved it to.
This is
we moved it to
understood
Friday.
that we come at
What do we
3:30.
need, how we need to vote?
Why do we need to vote? You pull it.
She's withdrawing it.
She's withdrawing, but she was
'Cause
trying to
it's
do
been
the
noticed.
time change, even though the
Oh, okay.
She was trying to make it earlier.
I mean, you don't. wait
I had a
minute.
second.
Jack
Fail.
had a turn.
Trying to come Friday at 3:30.
Everybody, okay. How many we gonna have people telling us what to do? I got 2 people telling me what to do here. So, you saying we need a what?
Just a second to withdraw it. You're withdrawing your motion, and then you want someone to second it.
I'll second it.
John
Just a
second.
second.
Now you can vote.
We don't have to vote on it.
We don't have to vote.
Vote, John.
Say you have to vote. Vita say you have to vote. Vita,
If you
been
made
here
a motion.
30-some years, she
Okay,
said
okay,
you gotta
whatever,
vote.
whatever.
Hold on.
Y'all all too old for me?
Today.
And she been longer than us.
Next item, Mr. Clerk.
Authorize Mr. Brandon Comer, of Comer Capital Group as a visitor for the regular session on July 5th.
Sure you want him to come?
Yeah, I do.
Well, they can't make it here. Did you
Why
guys
is he
feel?
coming?
Second.
I wanna know why is he coming.
He's someone that's coming to speak to us,
About what?
financial advising.
Okay.
I thought we had.
All right. We can listen.
Commissioner Thibodeau?
Decisions.
Yeah, I don't think we need to vote to allow somebody to be a visitor. Anybody can be a visitor. There's no, we don't, that's not something we need to vote on.
There you
Okay,
go, Mike.
who's gonna make sure that that's correct or not?
Well, let me just say this.
We have visitors by come every step.
Let me- let's raise it. When you make a pick.
Let's get an AG opinion. Put him on the agenda, gives him unlimited time.
Right. Come on, let's roll. Vote.
Just had that change.
Move for adjournment.
Hang on, I got one question.
Oh, man.
Mr. Grubb, in light of the motion that passed to talk about the appointment of the parish attorney, do we need to
Can we put them on?
do it now to say, as far as executive session, or do we need to add that to the agenda to go into executive session? Can we just do that Friday?
I don't need no executive
Want
session.
to go into executive session Friday, and someone needs to make a motion
Today.
to have an executive session on Friday for the purpose of discussing.
We can do it Friday.
No, sir. Well, Friday would require a unanimous vote because it would be an amendment. It would be an agenda amendment. If you want to do it now, it would require only a majority vote. appropriate motion should simply be to amend Friday's agenda to add an item to discuss applicants for the parish attorney's position in executive session.
And that won't be considered, that didn't have to have a 100% vote today?
No, sir.
That's not an agenda
We didn't have
addition
to do
today.
agenda addition for this?
would
We have
be
to
an
do agenda
agenda.
addition for this.
You have to expand the agenda to
To expand the agenda and then vote for that.
Our agenda is set, we would have to expand the agenda.
You got all these God bless the chiefs in here now, they can tell you what to do.
It's gone. We done passed it.
Chief number 1, chief number 2, chief number 3, somebody speak.
Somebody in here, correct me if I'm wrong, but the open meetings law, I think, requires a unanimous vote if the agenda is amended within 24 hours of the meeting. So I think that today, since the agenda has not been formally published, I mean, the purpose of this meeting today is to set the agenda. So since the agenda's not been formally posted, I think that you could add an item to Thursday's agenda by a majority vote. I mean, y'all have voted today to put things on the agenda and take them off. That's what the purpose of today's meeting is. So I believe this would be consistent with your prior practice, and if today you wanted to add something to the regular meeting's agenda, you could do so by normal, by majority vote.
Let's go to the floor.
No.
I don't agree with that.
What we need executive session for? Just vote.
For adjournment. Motion
Have to do it
for
Friday.
adjournment is non-debatable.
Got to do it Friday then.
Commissioner Dominic still have the floor.
I would make a motion that we do
Somebody had
add
already made a
the
motion.
matter regarding going into executive session Friday.
I already made a motion to adjourn.
To discuss what?
Well, it'd be parish attorney.
Okay.
I know that she wants to go into executive session. Mr. Grubbs already said that a while ago, so.
Madam President.
Commissioner Bowman,
Die for a second.
That's what I
no,
Die for lack of second.
Commissioner Lynn, second.
I give a second.
Move to adjourn.
I
I
got
give a
a
second.
second.
I did, I gave a second.
That's okay. I was just wondering, I thought it was a motion on the floor.
It was, it
He
is.
got a second over here.
It's a motion on the floor.
Point of order. Commissioner Epson had already did a motion to adjourn before.
You didn't get a second.
I did
You
say.
don't have to have a second.
That's on the floor.
Commissioner Dominic still had the floor.
No, that was before he even said, y'all said, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. But he had already called a motion to adjourn.
He had the floor.
This was before he had the floor.
No, it
Called for a
wasn't.
You
motion
can't-
to adjourn. Let's rewind the tape.
You can't make them otherwise, you just make a motion to adjourn anytime.
Wait, I don't think y'all
They'll be
heard
appointed
her.
while we go into
I didn't
executive
hear
session.
Commissioner
We had
Epson when he
finished
don't
all
need to
the
go.
items on our agenda.
That'd be after.
He had asked if there was anything else. He made a motion to
He has
adjourn.
more glad
this not on
Then he
TV.
said,
We
wait a
look like a
minute, wait a
bunch of
minute.
idiots.
What did you hear?
We are here.
You didn't hear what?
It's okay, I'm good with it.
Let's know it.
She has been appointed, so you don't have to go into that. It's a minute. It's a minute. She has been
Do we vote on the motion to adjourn?
I think he's not, yeah.
We have to
No, we
vote
don't
on
need
the
to
motion
vote
to
on the
adjourn?
motion to adjourn.
No.
Why make a motion?
Are you sure?
Why make a motion?
Well, I don't know.
Robert's rules.
Why make a motion? You don't vote on the motion, then why make it?
Pass the hat, I appreciate
Cause we all, because it's a,
Customary.
whatever.
No, you're wrong. You're wrong. Yeah, my motion
It should have.
I mean, that's the way you make a motion to
Saying, well, wait a minute, I want to make a motion to, you don't make a motion to adjourn.
They serve at the pleasure. Okay? Read it. I know, I've been down there what you were doing.
That's what I'm, well, he said it first and then and then they tried to come back and do it again, he already
This you at the meeting, man.
I'm going upstairs with this stuff here.
You would go in there and say, I care.
I'm gonna bring this stuff up there.
You know, you got to go in, you got to meet, and then you can't just do that. We advertise before.
It better be fresh.
Tell them, look, lack of a, just tell them nobody go in there and have a lack of a quorum.
Like everybody.
We need to hit them, doggone,
Right.
They got them $4 million
I can't, it's one elected official to get 15,000. Yes. Price of doing, but I mean, what you talking about.
Well, yes, no, there's some folks around here, they talk all that old smack.
That property deal they had out there.
I'm coming.
August 14th. Point of order, we need to have us a function for veterans, like the next party, or some raise money, and all the time. You know what I mean? Where people come with, $50 plate, $100 plate. If somebody put veterans in the afterthought or a whim that comes up, see what I mean? That's why it's a problem.
Well, it's not gonna be us though.
Right. All the time we think about it was Memorial Day, Veterans Day, and then that's it. But hey, things need to be perpetual.
Yeah,
We need to keep everybody engaged. We already have like a big military civilian banquet, the raise fund, you know. People talk all this smack, like this economic impact of the base over there, you know. What the hell they doing? The folks, look at that tit, big ass money out there.
Okay.
He's the one.
How you doing?
Yeah.
I mean, big ones.
Well, he ought to come up with that other $10,000 then, so you got 18.
Hold your room.
And then once he gets that out of the way, he getting tired and everything, now he's doing what he need to do. Then we need to come up with something on a consistent basis that's gonna draw everybody. Just like those your parents sitting there on their ass, the base benefit them, they don't even wanna participate with it. You know what I mean? Well, you know, come up here, yeah, they can do a budget amendment shit for $10,000. Who gonna argue against that? See what I mean?
That's what they want to talk about, how.
Well, low helping us with the parade. He ain't got no experience. He's living the same thing. What about all them scoundrels that bowed your parish police jury?
See if in the paper is.
Barstow was in there. They won't do shit. They didn't even participate in the parade.
What?
But yet and still, they want that, they want them tax dollars and all that decision.